Hey, Joel.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Good. How are you?
There we are. Hey, Paul.
We're just gonna mute you.
Can you hear us fine?
I can hear you guys great. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Excellent. We'll see how long it lasts. But now I'm brightly lit and you guys are all dark. Oh, there we go.
Thank you. I'm working on my tab.
It's that background light. That's all right. It doesn't matter.
The light is behind us. We're now sitting on the couch, so
It adds to the mystery.
Mystery that is Ruzivo.
Are you guys ready to get started?
Sure.
yeah.
Awesome. So I got it recording, and we'll just see how it goes. So first of all, thank you guys so much for trying this new experiment and for joining me.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Thank you.
So y'all are Ruzivo, and you guys are in Seattle or Bellingham?
Seattle.
In Seattle.
We're in Seattle right
at the
now.
moment.
Right.
But we're from all over.
You're from all over. Well, tell me, let's start, who's in the band?
You are. And you.
Jocelyn, you go first.
Okay. Hi, I'm Jocelyn.
And you're from
I
Ballard.
guess I live in Ballard, which is in Seattle.
And Rose. Where do
And
you
I'm
live?
Rose. And I'm from Bellingham, Washington.
And I'm Lonnie, and I live in Mukilteo, just pretty much close to Whidbey Island, where you catch the ferry.
Which is where I live, Dana, here on Whidbey Island.
And I'm Hannah, and I live in Seattle on Capitol Hill.
And I'm Paul. I live in Seattle.
Nice. And so I was listening to some of the music, and I heard some guitars and bass guitar. Now, do you all play marimba as well, or who plays what?
So we combine full marimbas, two sopranos, a tenor, and a baritone. Then we combine that with bass guitar. Lonnie plays bass guitar for the band. And then we combine that with trap set. And then
Nice.
on the album that we just recorded, we also add some electric guitar and some congas and some mbira. We had some special guests who were playing with us. There was also some trumpet.
Cool. Who are those guests? You want to tell?
Guests from Zimbabwe, we have James Buzuzi from Zimbabwe playing electric guitar on some tracks as well as acoustic guitar. And then we have Zionai Masango playing electric guitar on some tracks. And then we have John Mambira from Bongo Love playing congas. And we have Zach Nolan, who's actually here, playing mbira on some tracks as well as some hosho. And then Jacob Mafuleni from Mbira Zemuninga, as well as Pitson Ngoshi from Mbira Zemuninga, and Martha Tom from Mbira Zemuninga. So mix of guests from Zimbabwe and guests from North America, as well as Joanne Evans from
Idaho.
Playing horns for us on the album too.
Yeah, and our drummer isn't here. Scott Small. He's not here, but he lives on Whidbey with Dana. Not with Dana. Just on the same island.
Well, that sounds like a great lineup of people, man. A powerhouse of an album. So you guys sent me 2 tracks to play. I have Hey Mambo and Samba Yeruro. Do you guys, which one should we start with for people to hear?
Start with Hey Mambo, because that's written by Lonnie Welsh, who's our bass player. He comes from a lot of different backgrounds in music, played with a lot of different bands in this area, and this was kind of something that we wanted to bring to the band, so we all jumped on the opportunity. So I'll let Lonnie explain where you got the music from.
Yeah, please.
Oh, okay. Well, it started. Okay, no laughing over here. It started as I just was messing around at the piano one day, and I found some patches. Found a kalimba patch and a marimba patch, and recorded some things and played it back for Paul one day, and he liked it. So he gave me some encouragement, and he said, hey, let's put it on our next album. And then it just kind of went from there. I brought in some different parts that I came up with on the piano, and everybody added their own thing to it. It was kind of a collaboration that way. I really didn't write the tune. I just kind of introduced some ideas, and everybody kind of ran with the ball.
Nice.
Got some Cuban influence, probably more than anything, but there's others. Our drummer Scott adds some other kind of groups to it too, some Brazilian type of things to it. So it's kind of a melting pot.
Awesome. Well, let's hear it. So this is Hey Mambo, Ruzivo's new album, and the album is called Mambo Grooves. Awesome. Sounded great.
Hey, Mambo.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. I can hear on that bass guitar, I heard a lot of like the South African influence, the sliding and all that. That was cool.
I never slid a note ever until I met these guys. The Paul's like, slide, boo. Every other note. If he had his way, I'd be sliding on every single note. I'd play anything. I've been sliding.
Do you play on a fretless?
I have a fretless, and I play occasionally, and I played it in the group sometimes. But I probably should do it more because it'd be easier.
No, it sounded great. That album sounded excellent. So was the band, Paul, did you start Ruzivo?
Yeah, I started Ruzivo in 2004. And it's kind of gone through several changes over the years. I started it purely as a marimba band with seven marimbas, the usual 3 sopranos, 2 tenors, baritone, bass kind of configuration. And then I wanted to experiment with different instruments, so I cut down the numbers of marimbas and then put mbira and then put bass guitar and trap set. And that's been the configuration that we've used for the most part so far. And then sometimes whenever we have a horn player in the area, we try to incorporate some horns into it. And then if we have a Zimbabwean musician who's visiting who plays other instruments, we always try to incorporate whatever they play as well.
Nice. And so what first got you into the music, Paul?
Oh, boy. A long time ago. It was probably 1986 when I was like in first grade. 85 when I was in first grade is when I started playing with my twin brother. We had some marimbas at home, and we just dinked around on them. And then I realized that I enjoyed it so much, so we continued playing at school. And then when I moved to Canada to go to high school, found some bands who were already playing some music over there, and I made friends with them and continued to play, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
Nice. And let's see. So how did you find the members for this band now? Like, how has that evolved to be this lineup?
Well, it kind of started. Dana Moffett, when I moved from San Diego to the Seattle area, Dana Moffett was the first person that sort of contacted and wanted to see if we could start a band together. She was playing marimba on Whidbey Island and teaching over there as well. So she helped me put some people together, and then we started a band. Initially, Zach Norman was actually in that band too, in that first part of the band. And we had some other people in this area. Claire Jones was playing with us. Karen Sherman from formerly of Anzanga was also playing with us. And then the group, kind of how we found people was, somebody would like the sound that we're playing, and then I knew that they were really good or that they were really enthusiastic, and I would ask them to be in the band whenever somebody was leaving or whatever. So Rose Orskog was the second person to join in the kind of group right now. It was Hannah Wahl, actually. Yeah, was the second person to join, and then Rose Orskog joined. And then when I decided to change the configuration into like the smaller marimba sound, I went out looking for people, and I actually posted on Craigslist that I was looking for new musicians. And that's how I found Lonnie, our bass player now.
Yeah.
Found him on Craigslist, and I gave him a whole bunch of Zimbabwean music to listen to and say, this is kind of what I'm looking for.
And I came back, and he was surprised.
You didn't scare him away. That's great. So you guys just got back from a trip to Zimbabwe. Y'all want to tell me about that?
We put a lot of. It was a 3 week. Some of us went for the first week. Is Rose, Dana, and I went for the first week, and we built marimbas the first week. Built the frames. We took the keys we built here and took them over in our luggage. And then the first week we assembled them and put the frames together with a whole bunch of guys, Jacob and Martha and John and Bongo Love. And it was just a whole bunch of guys helped out. It was a real team. And then these guys came those second 2 weeks. Haifa was, about 4 days?
6 days.
6 days. Wow. Yeah, it was nothing but music. Haifa was amazing. I was blown away. What an amazing thing. Music from the morning till wee hours of the night is incredible.
For those that don't know what Haifa is, can y'all tell us what Haifa is?
Yeah, it's the Harare Harare International Festival of the Arts. It's held in Harare every year, the last week in April into the first week of May, and it's musicians from all over the world. It is right now the third largest music festival in all of Africa.
Wow.
Attracts musicians from all over Africa and from Europe, North America. We actually had there were 3 groups from the United States who were playing there. Two of them from Seattle and one from New York City. New York City was a jazz quartet, and Seattle, the other band, Published the Quest. They play sort of a fusion of reggae and a little bit of hip hop. So you've got a wide variety of different musical backgrounds, a lot of collaborative arrangements of different bands getting together and putting on a show together. So it was really amazing, just being there and being a part of it. And for a couple of people in the band, Jocelyn and Lonnie, this was their first time in Zimbabwe, and what a special treat to be able to go for the music and be able to witness not only Zimbabwean music but a lot of different other types of music being played in Zimbabwe.
Yeah, yeah. And you guys are being really humble, but you were asked to play there. That's that's a special treat.
Absolutely. We played 4 concerts, 4 shows, and one of them, some of them were big crowds. We had a downtown. We did one for seemed like 1,000, at least 1,000 people downtown.
Yeah, right on the promenade, First Street Promenade in downtown Harare.
That was interesting.
It was an interesting show.
That must have been fun.
Oh yeah. And then we played a couple shows in the festival grounds. We played the Coca-Cola Green Stage, which was a free stage. We played the Global Music Stage, which was a paid stage. And then we also played at the Book Cafe, the newly reinstalled Book Cafe in Harare. We were fortunate enough to be able to get a show there, and it had a great amount of fun because we also had musicians who were playing at Haifa come to that show and just kind of enjoy hang out. It's a popular hangout spot for musicians who are into music in Zimbabwe, so it was nice to be able to be in the middle of the festival atmosphere, but not at the festival itself, but just playing outside in the city.
Nice, nice. That's great. And so did any of you guys get a chance to connect with any of the other traditional musicians while you were out there or study in any marimba or mbira?
Not so much studying, but hanging out and jamming. I played some music with Josh Meck, a bass player there, and his drummer that he works with. We went in the studio. Just to my surprise, he said, "Hey, what are you doing? Let's go." One afternoon, we went into the studio and recorded something. And the same night, we went back to the Book Cafe and played. And of course, John and James and all those guys, the Bongo Love, most of those guys were there. We were playing music with those guys and rehearsing and playing, but I don't know, how about you guys?
We took a trip out to Mondoro to Cosmo Guy's
That's
village.
right, yeah.
And there was a village marimba group that played there, welcomed us with all kinds of kids and young players dancing, welcoming us. That was a fun trip.
Amazing.
Nice, nice. Let's see. What does Ruzivo mean?
Ruzivo is a Shona word that means wisdom. So the reason that I named the group Ruzivo is I thought there's this whole idea of collective wisdom that the sum of the music that we have, the musical experience that we have, is greater than the individual parts put together. Mm-hmm. So that's why I wanted to put the name Ruzivo together. And in our last album, this Mambo Group's album, this is really the first time that the group finally kind of came together in a way that I'd always envisioned it coming together, where people in the group write music for all of us to play. So, we've got 4 people in the band who wrote their own tracks that were put on the album in addition to the stuff that I've written. So, Lonnie did Mambo Grooves, for example. Dana Moffett did Tondo Bayana, an arrangement of the traditional song Tondo Bayana. And Rose Orskog did her own track that's also on the album. And, Jocelyn also put in her own original composition. And everybody has heard that music and kind of internalized it and then play it in their own way. And the whole thing that comes out, it might not originally be what they each thought it was going to be, but it's a distinct Ruzivo sound. I mean, it's the same thing when I teach them my own stuff. It's not exactly what comes out is not exactly what I may originally have intended it to be, but it's the actual Ruzivo sound that I've gotten accustomed to.
Nice. Well, let's hear some more Ruzivo. I've got the track here, Samba Yeruro, queued up. Do you guys want to tell me about that song?
Yeah, this is a composition of mine. Samba Yeruro means love letter, and it's my love letter to the country of Zimbabwe. Because I'm saying, regardless of all the things that have been happening in Zimbabwe politically, economically, socially, over the past 10, 15 years, it is still a very beautiful country with beautiful people, with a lot of humility and a lot of patience. And so when I was writing this song, a good friend of mine, PY in San Diego, heard it and she said, "Oh, I want to write lyrics for this." So she wrote the lyrics and did the lead vocals on it, and then the ladies in Ruzivo did the backing vocals on that track. And we also got James Buzuzi from Zimbabwe playing guitar on it. He played both acoustic guitar and electric guitar on the track.
Nice. All right, so here we go.
Akuruma nzeve ndewako, akuruma huro ndewako.
sounds great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So what's next for Ruzivo? What are you guys working on now?
Always new songs.
Yeah, we've been working on a lot of new tracks, and we're definitely hoping to do a lot of performing next summer. So, working on a lot of new material to share with everybody, and probably another album coming out next year. We'll be working on it.
There's a crazy song Paul's having us do that's in 5. It's like Chem Tangray in 5. It's taken us a few practice sessions to get used to
To
that.
forget what we know.
Yeah.
It's one of those songs where as soon as your brain starts trying to get involved, it's all over.
It's a chain wreck.
Is that what it is for you?
That's the way it is for Lonnie.
Nice. So if people want to learn more about you guys, what's the best way? Website or?
Facebook
Yeah, we have a Facebook page.
and a website, ruzivomusic.com.
Yeah.
And can they get to your Facebook from your website, or what is your Facebook page? Or do you know?
Ruzivo.
Yeah, I think it's just Ruzivo.
Ruzivo.
And what was the .com?
Yeah, like us on Facebook, please.
Go like them on Facebook.
Yeah, like us on Facebook.
Do you want to know a fun fact about Ruzivo?
Yes.
Almost all of us have matching tattoos.
What is your matching tattoo?
It's something that Hannah came up with.
It's our logo.
It's our logo.
Yeah.
It's our logo that's kind of a vague outline of a face that's based on a statue from Zimbabwe that I bought the first time I was there back in 2006. It's also on the cover of Mambo Brews.
Okay, so y'all should send me a email like with a picture of a tattoo or the cover or something, and then when I put this up, I'll put that so that people can see it.
We'll send you a tattoo, too.
Yeah,
Send me
we're
a
trying to
tattoo,
lock
yeah.
it.
I've been
Okay.
needing one.
And the music is actually on iTunes and Amazon.com, the online stores. And people, if they want, they can see that logo on there as well. If you just Google, if you just look up on iTunes, if you look up Ruzivo, the Mambo Grooves album has that tattoo too.
Great. Is there, we're out of time now, but is there any last thing you want to say to everybody who happens to hear this? Or?
Well, we're just very appreciative of the opportunity to get to play this music and to get to share it with everybody. And we're very appreciative that we get to play music that all of us have, a spiritual connection to. It's something that's much deeper than just, let's meet up and have fun, because we all have now a connection to Zimbabwe where it's not just, Mbira music, marimba music, or popular music of Zimbabwe, but it's when you're playing this music, you're actually seeing a face from Zimbabwe that you've interfaced with and you've come across in your travels, and they've taught you a whole lot more than just how to play the music. So that's what we're very grateful for.
Right on. Well, thank you all so much for taking the time to do this. And
Thanks,
Thank
John.
you.
It was fun.
yeah, it was fun.